for stone-throwing, too, and brought down seagulls and complacent pigeons and once a feral cat. Come summer, more Ica came, and these Ica brought human slaves with them, gleaned from a distant harvest. When one fine summer's morning the Ica returned to the tanning quarter with slaves brought to work in the tannery, the two children fled to a loft and cowered behind tanned hides, which had been hung to dry from the crossbeams. When they heard voices, the creak and scrape of a body climbing the ladder, Matthias boosted Anna up to one of the great beams. Her terror added strength to her tugs, and with him scrambling on the uneven plank wall and her pulling, they got him up beside her. There they huddled, clinging to the beam and shaking with fear. The stink of the tannery protected them no longer. The trapdoor opened at the far end of the loft. Anna sucked down a sob when they heard the first whispery soft words, an Ica speaking a language they could not understand. A dog yipped and growled outside. As if in reply, a human voice, below, from over by the pouring pits, yelped in pain, then began screaming and pleading pointlessly and unintelligibly. Screaming again until at last, mercifully, the screams cut off with a gurgle. Matthias bit his lip to keep from crying out. Anna's eyes filled with tears that slipped down her cheeks. She grasped the wooden circle of unity that hung on a leather cord at her thin chest, her mother's dying gift to her, and traced her finger around its smooth circle in silent prayer, as she had seen her mother do many times, though this wordless prayer had not availed her mother against her final illness. Footsteps shuddered on the rungs. A body scraped, half metal, half cloth, heaving itself up and over onto the loft floor. A man grunted, a human sound, curt and yet familiar in its humanity. The Ica spoke again, this time in recognizable, if broken, Wendish. "How soon these is ready? I will have to look them over." The man enunciated each word carefully. "Most likely all are ready, if they've been here since." He broke off, then took a shuddering breath. Had he witnessed that killing just now, or only listened to it as they had? "Since spring." "I count these," said the Ica, "before you come. I count these skins, less than I count come to me when they ready. I kill one slave for each skin less than I count. I start with you." "I understand," said the man, but the children could not see him, could only hear, and what emotion they heard in his voice they could not interpret. "You bring to me when ready," said the Ica. The ladder creaked, and this time they recognized the slight chime of mail as the Ica left the loft and climbed back down away to wherever Ica went when they were not hunting and killing. Still the children clung there, praying the man would go away. But instead he moved slowly through the loft, jostling the hides, rubbing them, testing them, counting them. A loose plank creaked under his foot. The quiet rustle of a hide sliding against another marked his progress, and the huff and stir of leather-sodden air in the dim room, spreading outward from his movements, shifted and swirled about them like the exhalation of approaching death, for discovery would indeed mean death. Finally it was too much for Anna, who was 3 winters younger than Matthias. The sound got out of her throat like a puppy's whimper before she could gulp it back. The man's slow, quiet movement ceased, but they still heard his breathing, ragged in the gloom. "Who's there?" the man whispered, then muttered a lady's blessing. Anna set her lips together, squeezed her eyes shut, and wept silently, free hand clutching the circle. Matthias groped for the knife at his belt, but he was afraid to pull it out of its sheath, for even that slight noise would surely give them away. "Who's there?" the man said again, and his voice shook as if he